We are live.
How you feeling?
Test, test. You ready? Test. Are we good?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Paul, you are receiving? Are we brought? Can
Yeah,
you hear us?
We can hear you just fine.
Tremendous. We're good.
Somebody needs to tell Tim Nicholson he's not allowed in this meeting.
Show your face. Show your face.
We will welcome with great arms Mr. Nicholson to the program. Not a problem.
Thank you, Director.
You're more than welcome.
Go mute yourself, buddy. Go mute yourself.
Whoa, that's not very welcoming.
I want to know if he's wearing the bottom half of the suit there, or if it's just the jacket and the tie.
You want to see my tan shorts? Hello?
We will not go there, please.
And then the wrong. Second. Look.
And Christine and Ryan, thank you. It's exactly what I wanted to see. I'll share that tomorrow morning. Such on both sides. Very, very nicely done.
Thank you.
Mr. Wallace, always a pleasure.
Rector, same to you.
There you go.
Good looking mask.
Sure, the time is 5:30.
Okay. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to ACHD's annual Budget and Integrated 5E Work Plan, Community Outreach and Public Open House. My name is Bruce Wong. I'm the director here at the Ada County Highway District. And as all of you can see, this is a little different format than we normally do. We are doing this Zoom. It is recorded and it is being streamed live. And such, and in the, but we'll still maintain and still regarding our proposed budget and then our proposed integrated 5E work plan. We have on the Zoom conference the same staff members that you are used to include our Chief of Staff, Paul Daigle. From Development and Technical Services, we have Gary Inselman, he's the Deputy Director, Christy Little, Dale Capernis, Sean Martin, and Erica. for stormwater operations from Plans and Projects. We have Dave Wallace, he's the Deputy Director, Diane Bevins, Ryan Head, Christy Inselman, who's here, who'll be making the presentation on the Integrated 5-Year Work Plan, Justin Lucas, Ricardo Calderon. From Maintenance, we have Jennifer Berenger and Lloyd Carnegie. They're the Deputy Director and Manager for Maintenance. For IT, I have Michael Stanton. For Legal, our General Counsel, Steve Price, is also on the conference. And of course, our Budget Coordinator, Christine Tandler, who will be briefing you. She's also on the video conference. So we have the same exact diverse staff members that when we're done with the presentations, as we open up for questions, they will be able to answer anything and everything that you have for us today in examining the budget and the Integrated 5-Year Work Plan. Now, a couple requests before we start. Again, Stacy, our Executive Officer, she is the keeper of the questions. Please make sure that she is aware of a question or comment you'd like to make, and she will then bring you into the Zoom conference. I would also ask that you, if you're not making a presentation or speaking at the time, please mute your microphones. It cuts back on the feedback and such, so that everybody has a clear picture. So anyway, with that, I'd like to introduce Christine Tandler. She is our Budget Coordinator, and she'll be presenting the proposed budget for a late August final with the Commission. Christine, over to you, please.
Thank you, Director. Christine Tandler, Budget Coordinator. Let me share my screen. Just verifying everyone can see that. I just have a few slides to go through. Again, this is an overview. Is the budget that the commissioners have seen, and a very similar one to what will be presented at our public hearing. So our revenue summary, we're proposing a $134.8 million proposed budget. Of that, our property tax certification of $42.5 million, which remains unchanged from prior years. A highway users fund of 36.8, impact fees and federal aid cost share round out some of those larger amounts. On your screen, you will see a pie chart showing where all of our revenue sources come from. A significant amount of them, again, property taxes, highway users fund, and impact fees. Got ahead of myself. Impact fees make up about 16%, and then registration fees do come in at about $11 million. The expenditure summary shows that we are spending over 50% of our budget on capital. This is a variation of capital projects, a significant number of them vary in different stages of whether we're building them or designing them or purchasing right of way. Those projects are available in the full packet that's available online, as well as in more detail with what Christy Inselman will be showing later. But then you can see that maintenance makes up almost 25% of the overall budget. So between capital and maintenance, that's pretty much the two largest chunks of our budget. Within the capital budget, we do break it down into different categories of types of projects, roads and intersections being the largest of those. On each of our roads and intersection projects, we do sidewalks, bike lanes, any needed pedestrian signals that are needed, make sure we are ADA compliant with all of those types of projects. We do have maintenance projects that include overlays and road rebuilds for those that have failing asphalt underneath, as well as the $9.1 million we have programmed for community programs. Those are those specific programs in neighborhoods and safe routes to school that allow the community to get around safer. So some big, just some big construction projects I picked out for FY21 is Gowan Road Bridge. Now this is west of I-84. It's a very large bridge. It's about $7.5 million. We've been working to get this one built for some time. We also have 2 projects that I believe will be bid together. That's Eagle and Amity Road Roundabout. We're expanding it to a dual lane roundabout. It's currently just a single lane roundabout. And then we are doing the road segment of Eagle Road Amity to Victory, which also includes a roundabout at Zaldia. We'll be doing the intersection of 10 Mile and Amity, as well as on Chinden and Curtis. The project there is to add a southbound right-hand turn lane starting north of Chinden and extending all the way up to where it turns right west onto Ustick Road to alleviate some of that congestion there. Also, Maple Grove Victory to Overland is a road widening project that's going to happen next year. It has 2 or 3 bridges in it, as well as 2 pedestrian hybrid beacons that will be added with this project for increased safety. So with that, that's my short presentation of the budget overview. I'm going to turn it over to Christy Inselman unless anyone has specific questions for me right now. Okay.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything from Stacy. There's questions for you, so I'll go ahead and start my presentation. Maybe, there we go. Okay, everybody can see my PowerPoint? Thumbs up. Okay. So good evening. My name is Christy Inselman. I'm a senior transportation planner with the Planning and Projects Department, and I'm here to present on the draft 21-25 Integrated 5-Year Work Plan. The 21-25 Integrated 5-Year Work Plan sets forth the strategies, projects, and priorities which ACHD will pursue over the next 5 years. The first 2 years are tied directly to the budget that Christine just went over. The plan integrates the building and maintenance and operation of our roadway system, as well as implements ACHD's long-range plans, as well as creating transparency of planned activities. My presentation will focus on the big picture with regards to the Integrated 5-Year Work Plan. So the key takeaways from this presentation is that the draft plan shows investment in all modes of transportation. We continue to make progress toward full build out of our networks, as well as continuing to identify new opportunities to invest in our community. The plan meets the commission targets, which include a certain level of over-programming, especially in the out years. The plan will allow us to be responsive and flexible to revenue changes, which means we'll be able to take advantage of revenue increases, but can cut projects if necessary. So we understand that there are things outside of ACHD control, such as a global pandemic, and the goal of this plan is to program it in a way that it can be adjusted if necessary. Whoa, losing my notes. With a certain level of revised revenue and over-programming, we're showing that over the next 5 years, we will meet commission targets. This depends on future funding availability, especially in the out years. And this robust programming strategy is necessary to expend the impact fees that we've collected. So last year, the commission tasked staff to work with them early and often to develop this year's plan. Staff conducted 5 work sessions with the commission, agencies, the city, school district, and county, as well as ACHD staff. The results from the annual report were utilized to help guide the programming of this year's Integrated 5-Year Work Plan. The information we compiled allowed us to see areas of greater need within Ada County so that we could focus additional efforts. This draft includes a revised Integrated 5-Year Work Plan introduction that provides greater focus on how we're doing within each area. Those include major roads, sidewalk gaps, bike facilities, and ADA accessibility. I'll go over those in greater detail as part of my presentation. And also with the introduction, project lists from each neighborhood planning area are provided. So if you wanted to drill down into a specific area, you can see a full list of every project that's planned for that planning area. So improving our major roads. This aids Ada County residents in many ways. It provides congestion relief as well as much needed connection for our bikes, pedestrians, and ADA community. The plan includes a total of 29 major roadway and intersection projects for a total of 98 lane miles. This is an increase of 8 projects from the annual report in January. I'd like to also highlight that there are currently 23 projects that are completed or under construction in fiscal year 2020. With this update, major roads and intersection projects are planned throughout Ada County, which I can show you later with the interactive comment map. I wanted to quickly focus on the Boise Southwest area. Through the annual report, it was evident that the Boise Southwest area was a hot spot of need. We've accelerated several roadway and intersection projects in the area, as shown on the map, as well as added new projects, which you can see here identified in the list. We continue to improve ADA accessibility through our roads, intersections, and community programs projects. Additional inventory of our ADA facilities is being conducted and will be completed in October. This will give us a better idea of what improvements will need to be made. We anticipate the inventory of improvement needs will go up within each category, the high, medium, and low. Currently, 163 intersections have APS signals, which is accessible pedestrian signals, which is an increase of 25 in the annual report. This year's plan identifies 62 APS signals programmed, which is an increase of 48 from the annual report. With this plan, we've added the Bikeway signage program, the purpose of which is to accelerate the completion of the low-stress bikeway network. Since the adoption of the Roadways to Bikeways Master Plan in 2018, 6% of the low-stress bikeway network has been completed. And currently, 9% of the population is within a quarter mile of a completed low-stress bikeway. With the completion of the bikeways currently programmed in the draft, 40% of the population will be within a quarter mile of a low-stress bikeway. By adding the Bikeway signage program, we're accelerating the completion of the low-stress network, which was envisioned with the Roadways to Bikeways plan. This is a list of the new bikeway projects that have been added. Filling key sidewalk gaps is another focus of this plan. Currently, we have 26 miles of sidewalk gaps programmed in the plan, and a total of 48 community program projects were completed this year.
Close that door. What is it?
Okay, sorry. Here is a list of the new community program projects that have been added to the plan. Another area of need we identified through the annual report was Garden City. As you can see, we've added several projects from that area to try and address those issues. ACHD is committed to involving the public, and we welcome their comments regarding the integrated 5-year work plan draft. One of the best ways to submit comments on the plan is through the interactive integrated 5-year work plan comment map. It's a very long name. At the end of this presentation, I'll walk through how to navigate that map. As always, comments on the draft can be submitted through TELUS, and our draft 21-25 integrated 5-year work plan webpage. We also have a reader-accessible version of the plan. We're committed to a robust public outreach effort, starting with this open house and continuing with the social media outreach, as well as reaching out to our partner agencies, neighborhood groups, and advisory groups. So the comment period opens today and will close August 21st. So it's a good 5 weeks. The budget adoption hearing is scheduled for August 26th. And then staff will compile, review all comments received during the comment period and bring that back to the commission on September 2nd. The target date for the adoption of the 5-year work plan is September 23rd. Now let me walk through the interactive map. I'll have to stop sharing and share it again to get that map on here. So be patient with me. Okay. So this is the interactive map that you can go online. This is available on the website now. It is live now, and the comment availability is also live now. So this map is fully interactive. You can zoom in or out on any project within the county. There's tabs along the top that if you wanted to drill down in specific areas, you can do so. So if you're just curious about roads and intersection projects in the draft plan, you can go to that tab. Same thing with bikes and pedestrian projects. You can zoom in on what those projects are. If you click on any of the dots, colored dots or lines, it's going to have a pop-up box that gives you additional information. This is going to tell you who the PM is, the design year, the right-of-way year, and construction year. So this project is anticipated to be constructed in 2021. There's also a link down here that'll give you additional information if you click on it. It's a one-page summary of that particular project. It gives you costs and the same design right-of-way year and a description of the project itself. At the top of each box is where you can make comments. So if you click on this, it brings you to a survey where you can add your information, what your rating is of this project, and any additional feedback you would like to give us. And that'll come directly to staff for review. And I'll go back to the main page. And within each of these tabs on the side, you'll see that there's also links. This first link here is to our draft plan page, where you have a link to the TELUS if you want to submit a TELUS. If you want to link back to the map, it's here. And then the actual integrated 5-year work plan draft, and it's broken out into introduction and into each category, or if you want to look at the full draft plan, and then this is the reader version in the HTM. And within each one of these tabs, you can also click directly to those particular items. So if you just want to look at road and intersection lists, you can do that as well. I'd also like to pull up, bear with me if it'll work, the introduction. Can you guys see that? Mm-hmm. Good. So this is the new introduction that we did this year. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'm so excited it does. Technology is great. So this one is providing a lot of information. It was modeled after the annual report that was completed in January, where you can drill down into getting those metrics for the major roads, bikeways that I showed you earlier. You can also, where I spoke about those individual project lists. So here's a map of Ada County and how we've divided out the planning areas. And you can go to those specific, and they'll give you a full list of every project within each one of those areas, if you so choose. Okay, that completes my presentation, and I will stand for questions.
So if you would like to ask a question, you can raise your hand or you can chat with me.
No questions so far?
We're going to stop sharing so we can see everybody, make sure somebody's not raising their hand that we're missed. I do not see anybody with any questions.
Okay, well, in that vein, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to let you know that the briefings are on our website. Our full budget is on the website, and we do look forward to your insights and recommendations as we move forward.
We do have an R Grosso has now said that he would like to ask a question.
Okay,
Hi, this is Rachel Grosso. Can you hear me?
Rachel, we can?
yes, we can.
Great,
Turn
thank
on
you.
Can you turn on your video?
I sure can.
There we are.
I have a quick question about the community program. So I read recently that ACHD and the city of Boise are in talks about expanding patio seating for restaurants that are interested in that. And I am wondering if ACHD would allocate community program funds towards those type of efforts in COVID response.
I will try to take a swing at that one.
Okay.
Yes, we are we met this week with the mayor and the president of the council, our commissioners, and all council members in a joint session. And that was one of the topics that, based on our COVID-19 discussions, that we do support, and I know the mayor does. Now, there is a process that has been set up where each individual restaurant does apply through the city, and we are working hard now on putting together a resolution that will streamline that process to get some of the, I'll call it this, red tape and government bureaucracy out of the way so that we can make that happen. So the commission does support that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and I was just wondering if there would be any type of, because I know that ADA accessibility is one big question, and making sure that the facilities that people are using for both the dining experience and also for just movement are in question. And so that being a huge portion, and then just making sure that people on bikes, people walking, and people who are driving all still have the facilities they need to get around while those closures do come into effect. That's kind of where I was curious if community program funds could be or would be directed towards that.
The question of ADA was raised immediately as we went through the discussion, and we will ensure to the best of our abilities that all of the operations are in compliance, and not just for ADA, but for, as you said earlier, people, bikes, vehicles, to make sure that everybody's safe and not doing something that would not be safe in that. So yes, we're invested. Yes, we're going to support the cities, and not just Boise, but any other city that may want to do this in these very interesting and challenging times. We think that's very important.
Thank you. I also really like the mask.
Thank you.
We do have another question from Mr. Joe Landon. It's directed towards Christine, that she indicated that the property taxes remain about the same percentage of our overall revenue this year and last. Said my taxes went up significantly. Did the budget increase commensurately? Excuse me.
Well, let me, sir, let me take a stab at that. The budget that you've seen right now is a recommendation. We start this process in September prior to culminate with the commission's formal adoption in late August, which will be publicized and of course open to the public for their discussions and their recommendations to the commission. The staff has recommended to the commission that this year there be no property tax increment taken, as such, based on again, the challenges that are facing not only Ada County, but all of Idaho. They will make that determination again at the last part of the month in August, but that's why you saw the flat line right there. For property tax for us, Christine, please correct me if I'm speeding too much, but it's about $1.3 million. And for the new construction role, it is $1.5 to $6 million. So again, we believe that at least for this year, or excuse me, in 21, we can make all the adjustments with minus that projected revenue, so that Ada County Highway District will not be impacting taxpayers. Now, that being said, it's interesting, property taxes can go up based on the projection of what valuations of each homes are. And as you know, that has gone up. Christine, did I miss anything?
No, you hit that. If I did say that they remain about the same percentage, I probably misspoke, is what I meant is that they are not changing our property tax certification of the $42.5 million. We're not taking any of that increment that Director Wong spoke of. But again, if your taxes go up, it's likely a part of the math problem of the increase in assessed value. And I'm happy to talk with you about that in more detail.
Oh, I can't hear my movie.
We are working from home, and it's absolutely tremendous. Sir, I hope that answered your question for now. And if you have a follow-on, you can, of course, reach us through TELUS, and that'll be immediately routed to Christine, and she can give any type of specific individual for you. Sammy, how you doing?
Anyone else?
Say again?
I'm asking for questions one last time, making sure.
Okay then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank you for taking the time this evening. Again, the presentations are on our website. The full budget is on our website. And we do look forward to your thoughts and recommendations as we move forward on this very important program that we're on for the end of August, finalization with the Commission on the Budget, and then end of September for the integrated 5-year work plan. So thank you all, and please be safe. Thank you.